right. So, after making my first video about the director from Pfizer yesterday, Project Veritas released a second video where they confront him a second time at a pizza shop. And this time, all hell breaks loose, to be quite honest with you. The guy starts flipping out in the restaurant as soon as James O'Keefe sits down with him and asks him about his role in Pfizer. He just starts flipping out and saying that he's a liar and screaming around the restaurant. Now, mind you, this is a restaurant that's full of other patrons, people just coming there to enjoy a slice of pizza. It's not just a private, Project Veritas like setup front or something like that. So the CEO, Jordan Walker, starts flipping out, running around, going behind the counter and literally into the kitchen, calling the police, screaming at the police and the owner of the restaurant how he feels unsafe. Yet he asked them to lock the door and not allow the people who are filming him to leave. Well, this goes on for roughly 9 minutes in the video, and I'm not going to describe the whole thing. It's insane. One of the most insane pieces of footage that I've seen in a while in this regard, as far as journalism goes. So you have to go watch the video. You have to go to Project Veritas and watch the video of him getting caught. And he flips out. He physically assaulted James O'Keefe and broke some of their equipment. At the end of the video, the police officers end up arriving to the scene that were called by Jordan Walker, by the way. And they end up telling the Project Veritas crew that if James O'Keefe was still there, Jordan would have been arrested. And one important factor of this is everybody debating whether he was telling the truth about lying or not. And I have mixed feelings about it. But most importantly, it doesn't matter. But let's just use a little bit of logic here. He immediately says, "Hey, dude, I was lying on a date to impress somebody." Who lies on a date to impress somebody about experimenting on monkeys for COVID for gain of function research? Just ask yourself, as a man, if you were on a date with a woman and you really wanted to get in them draws, or a man, whatever your preference is, because apparently he thought he was on a date with a guy, and that's a whole other story. But you're on a date and you want to impress the person you're on a date with. Logically, are you going to say, "Hey, I design viruses and make them stronger so that we can sell vaccines to people"? Like, what are you, an evil villain? What is this? What are you, going on a date with Dr. Evil or something like that? And he's like, tell me more. Like, it just doesn't make sense. So that logic out the window. The second thing that I want to bring up about him saying that he was lying is that go back and watch the original video of him talking about exactly what he does, how eloquently he's like, "Oh yeah, it's simple. We take the monkeys and we put them in a cage and we scrape off the little proteins and we study them under the microphones." Speaking fluently, doesn't skip a beat, doesn't even stutter once, intensely locked into the eyes of the person who he's speaking with. And now compare that to when he's like talking about how he's lying. "What's going on? Is this real life? I was lying. It was a lie. I didn't mean it." And starts running around like a maniac, flipping over things. Which one sounds more like a lie to you? I'm not going to answer that question because I don't know the truth. I just like to use simple, basic inference and my own two God-given brown eyes to see what's going on and perceive it with my own deductive reasoning to say. But you guys think what you want. Yeah, sure, he was lying. Remember how I said before I just gave those 2 points as to why he's probably not lying, that it doesn't matter either way? That's because this is crazy. And this is going to be a lawsuit, probably multiple. This man is going to lose his job. I would be surprised if they don't find him somewhere and, take care of him, because the level of this misstep, it's almost so big that I think that it might get ignored because I don't think that people know how to actually process the information that came out in that. Like, it's crazy. I was watching it with my girlfriend, just on last night as she came over, like showing her those videos, and she was in shock. She was in shock. And I'm not going to expose anybody else's status, but I'm going to say I'm unvaccinated. And boy, will I tell you, I have never felt more confident about a decision that I've made in my life than that. Thank you. Have a good morning.